cameras at once. All right, am I recording? Yes, okay. Now, what we're going to do is to get ready to factor, we're going to look at coming up with numbers that fit this situation. On the front of the packet, it says find two numbers whose product and sum is indicated. Okay, so product we know is two numbers that have been multiplied together. Sum is where we've added two numbers. So, in looking at this first pair, I've got 56. So two numbers were multiplied to make 56. Their sum is 15. Okay? I've got a little scratch room over here. So I'm going to think about it. 56. Okay, I could multiply 1 and 56. Does that add to make 15? No. How about 2 and 28? Does that make 15? No. Okay, well, 3 divide evenly into 56. So 56 divided by 3. No, it doesn't divide in evenly. Does 56 divide evenly by 4? Yeah, so 4 times 14. Does 4 times 14, or 4 plus 14 equal to 15? No. Okay. 56 divided by 5. 5 won't divide evenly into 56. How about 6? No. I get a decimal again. 56 divided by 7 is 8. Now, here's the thing. I could look at these and say, well, since it's a positive 56, it could either be positive 1 times positive 56 or negative 1 times negative 56. Yes, sir. Which one? Which one? The second chapter test? Okay. Thank you. Oops. Okay, now, a negative times a negative would make a positive, a negative plus a negative would add to make a negative. It's obvious that we have a positive here, so it has to be a positive times a positive to add and make a positive. And looking at 7 and 8, 7 plus 8 would make 15. So the two numbers we want are 7 and 8. Okay, so now let's look at 36. Okay, factors of 36, or numbers that would multiply to make 36. We've got 1 and 36, 2 and 18, 3 and 12, 4 and 9, 6 and 6. Okay? Now I'm looking for the pair that would add and make a positive number, so it's obvious these are going to be positive, and add and make 13. And the pair that would do that, not 1 and 36, they don't add and make 13. 2 plus 18 is 20. 3 plus 12 is 15. But 4 plus 9 does make 13. So the pair we want is 4 and 9. If you'll go up to that drawer up there next on the blue shelf, the second drawer down. Okay, now, Let's look at 16 and 10. Okay, for 16, the factors that multiply and make 16 are 1 and 16, 2 and 8. 3 doesn't divide evenly into 16, but 4 times 4 is 16. The two numbers that would add and make 10 of these factors would be 2 plus 8. So it would be 2 and 8. Okay, one more. Okay, 1 and 81 multiplied to make 81. 2 doesn't divide evenly into 81, but 3 times 27 makes 81. 4 doesn't divide into 81. 5 doesn't. 6 doesn't. 7 doesn't divide evenly into 81. 8 doesn't. But 9 times 9 does. Okay? Now, the pair that would add and make 18 is 9 and 9. So basically, I'm writing all the factors I can for that product. And then I'm picking out the pair that adds to make this sum. Now, one tip I can give you, okay, and Ryan, this may be part of what you missed last year, that when you saw this, you were like, oh. When I list those factors, I'm looking at the pairs they'll multiply together. But when I get down to a certain point, I've got two numbers that are either right next to each other or they're the same number, okay? So 1 times 56 made 56, 2 times 28, 3 doesn't go into 56, 4 times 14 does. And then 5 doesn't divide into 58, 6 doesn't, but 7 times 8 does. When I get down to those two numbers that are really close together, then that's going to be your last pairing if you list all of them, okay? So basically, in factoring that product, I'm trying to rule out all of the pairs that I can, but I start with the two that are farthest apart, 1 times that number, and I list them all the way down. That way, I can make sure that I rule out any missing ones. It takes a lot of the guessing work out, okay? So, when I think about 45, I've got 1 times 45 that works. 2 doesn't divide into 45 because it's odd. 3 goes into 45, 15. 4 is even, so it won't divide into 45 evenly. 5 will go in 9 times. 6 won't divide evenly into 45 because 2 doesn't. 7 won't divide evenly into 45. 8 doesn't. 9 does. But look, I've already got 9 listed. So because I've already got 9 listed, I'll have the next factor, which is 15. I'll have the next factor, which is 45. So looking at what I have, what do I have that will add and make 14? It's the 5 and the 9. Okay? So I'm going to give you a few minutes to work on this, and then we'll come back to the next step in just a second.